Hello, Gemini. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the support of Oracle cards, Angels Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Okay. Relationship first. Single second. Okay. Excuse me. All right. So, I'm getting you have conducive energy, yet mismatched when it comes to timing. But it seems like this is going to go the way you want it to. Maybe not in the time frame you want it to, though. That's my first impression. Now, the Ace of Swords seems to be where you're standing. I feel like you know what you want, and you're ready to move forward on it. Spiritually, you have the Queen of Wands. Like, I feel like you know what you want, and you're ready to move forward on it. But your partner currently has the Five of Cups. I feel like they're seeing the benefit, but they're seeing the loss stronger. Like, whatever you want, there's like something they have to give up or some type of change that they're not really on board with just yet. I'm getting weird sensations in my face today. It's just strange. All right. And I'm noticing this happened in that last reading in a weird spot too. At a weird time. Because I feel like it's almost like an aggravation that is leading to possible concern, but maybe just not really that much. I feel like your partner's just getting like this is a change, and they see that there's some benefit, but the change is like, I don't feel like they're comfortable with the change right off the bat. But whatever it is you want, I do feel like you're very passionate about coming forward with it. You're talking about it a few times over. And you got the Strength card on your side. Like, I feel like you're sticking with it, and you're constantly talking with your partner about it because you really want this to happen, and you're continuing it. You're moving forward. You're trying to move forward. The challenge card for you is the Hanged Man, which in this situation I really do feel is just to realize it's a stagnant moment, but that this moment will pass. I feel like this is saying to hold on and realize that you just need to hold on. It may not be time to move forward yet, but the time still does feel like it's coming. The Hanged Man, I feel like, in your challenge position is saying, don't give up. There's going to be a waiting period, but just hold on through the waiting period and you should be okay. Now, your partner's challenge card, I'm noticing, is the Knight of Pentacles. Their challenge is to actually start making a step forward, but they need to move slowly. If they start moving forward slowly, this will actually take its own momentum and they'll be okay. But they just need to make that first step forward in the direction you want to go, and I feel like this is going to work out. Their challenge card, though, is saying that they need to actually actively make that step forward. I do feel like they're going to. Because I do feel like they're going to, but they're having a hard time getting to that point. I do feel like they're going to. Now, I'm getting, in the future, they give you the Knight of Cups. They're giving you that green light. They're giving you that green light, and I feel like you're moving forward with it. You got the Magician card. You're doing the situation the way you want it to. They're giving you the green light. It's going forward. I do feel like it's going forward. And I'm also seeing, like, what is this? See, I'm getting the Magician. You're making it go forward. You're getting the green light. You're going forward. and your partner seems to be cementing in with it. Like they're going along with you. The peaceful resolution, they got this Ace of Pentacles going on here. Like they're locking right into it. You want this, they're agreeing to it, they're going forward, you're starting it off, they're going forward. I see, you know what I'm seeing here? It's interesting because it's reminding me, I want to say it was the Taurus read, because I want to say this is a lot like the Taurus read. I feel like this is the other side, maybe. So it's interesting, because I'm getting you have, what helps is the Tower card with the not the right time. I'm feeling like when this finally goes forward and you're getting what you want, you're kind of shocked because it doesn't feel as good as you thought it was. I feel like your connection to the situation is kind of like a shock to the system. And it's like, it looked good on paper, but when you're doing it, you're kind of like, oh boy, I don't know if I really wanted this. I'm feeling like, I really do feel like you just got to hold out for a couple weeks, and I feel like it'll be better, because that's why I feel like that Taurus feel here. Like, I want to say relationship for Taurus. I feel like this is that other side that took a minute to get used to things, because it feels literally like the other side of that same reading. I'm getting you just got to get used to it. I do feel like you have a good plan here. I just feel like you got to get used to it. The shock I feel is like, because you weren't expecting to feel uncomfortable when it actually kicked off, and I feel like you're uncomfortable when it first kicks off. And it feels a little overwhelming. But I feel like once you sink into the pattern, once you're used to it, you will see that this was a good thing. There's going to be a moment where you're just going to be like, oh boy, maybe this was a mistake. And I do feel like your partner is looking at you, and they're just kind of like, they're holding back, and they're just kind of, I feel like they're kind of nervous. Like, are you going to be able to do this? Kind of like, I feel like, are you going to be able to do this? Are you sure about this? They're not, I don't feel like they're saying it, but they're wondering. And you are. I feel like you're going to be fine. I'm connecting with that moment, though, because I feel like you're having this moment, like, oh, I don't know if I really wanted to do this. Then I feel like they're aware of it. I don't see them really saying much, but I feel like they're aware of it, and they're just kind of watching you out of the corner of the eye. They're just kind of like, are you going to be okay? You're going to be able to do this? Because what makes things better for this other person is I feel like they're just being accommodating to you. But I feel like it's not just like, it's not haphazardly being accommodating, but they're doing it the way you want it to. You've thought out the situation, you see how it could work out, you have the plan, they worked on it, they thought about it, they soaked in, they moved forward. And I feel like they're very conducive to what you want. This seems to be helping them because I feel like they're liking it better. I feel like you had a good plan. And I also feel like they're giving to you and they love you, so I feel like that feels good for them too. Like, this is why this is the good card for them. Like, I feel like them giving in to you worked for both of you. And it's just, I feel like you might take a little bit to realize it, because I feel like when it first starts, you might be like, oh, I don't know if this was a good idea. But I feel like after it soaks in, I do feel like you're going to see it was a good idea. I went through all the cards, but I'm like, I just feel a little scattered with that. But I feel like we've talked about everything. I'm looking at all the cards, and I know I've talked about them all, but I'm just kind of like having a little scatterbrain moment. Like, I'm not remembering a lot of what I've already said, but that happens once in a while when I read. A lot of times it happens once I'm done with a reading. Like 5 minutes later, I'll forget everything about it, which is fine. But all right, now let's do Gemini single. Messages for single Gemini. Messages for single Gemini. Messages for single Gemini. Messages for single Gemini. Alright, so this card goes for both spots. Let's remember that. Single Gemini. Messages for single Gemini. Well, let's see what's going to happen here. Just the one? Okay. They just want that one card up there. Alright, so starting with the first card that's coming through is the Eight of Wands. In the past, I'm getting like, I'm just feeling like somebody's showing up really quick. I'm not sure if it's you or them, but it's just kind of like somebody showing up really quick. Opportunities just coming forward really fast. I'm getting in the past, like there's a spark or something happened really quick, but it didn't establish a relationship. But there was definitely something here that made it quite clear where your feelings lie. You knew where you stood anyway. But I feel like this came in quick. Somebody came towards somebody, but I don't feel like anything came into like a relationship feel. It just feels like somebody got your attention really fast. Like something just changed and got your attention really fast. Are we good with that? Okay. Now, I'm getting this is moving slowly. And I'm getting the person that got your attention, I'm not getting there quick. See, this is interesting. I'm feeling that Taurus feel again. Like, this person, I don't want to say that it's definitely a Taurus, but I just feel like there's somebody looking at you, really trying to understand who you are, what you're about. I'm getting you have a very... I'm getting they're looking at you like you're scattered. I have to be honest with you. That's the energy. That's how I'm connecting with it. I'm not saying that that's the truth, but I just feel like that's how they're viewing you. Like they're trying to understand like what direction you're going in. I shouldn't laugh, but this is reminding me of like I have some Gemini in my chart, and I can do this thing where I talk in a few different directions at once. I just remember going on a date once, and the other person got really annoyed with me and just kind of yelled at me on the first date, which is clearly the last date it was at 2, but I didn't even realize I was doing it. But I feel like this is kind of like the misunderstanding. Like I feel like you get excited and there might be a lot of information or a lot of different subjects going on at once, and this person's just kind of looking at you like they feel like you're scattered. But I feel like all these conversations, like if I'm connecting with this Gemini energy the way I feel like I am, it's kind of like it's all conducive, like it all makes sense to you and how it all fits together, but like you might not be realizing that like there's missing pieces to where the conversation doesn't connect for the other person. To you it all congeals, but there's pieces missing on the other side where they don't realize, they don't see how it all congeals. So to them it's all scattered, to you it makes sense. And you might not realize that they're not understanding how all these pieces fit together. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I feel like this person would look at me like you're a nut. But I feel like if you're connecting with this reading, I feel like you're like, no, I understand. Like, there's a lot of different pieces. To me, I understand how all these pieces fit into this larger puzzle. And you might talk about all these different pieces and how they all fit. But the other person might just see you talking about different pieces and have no idea why you're talking about all these pieces. And have no idea that they're all part of the same group. I feel like you understand what I'm saying. I've done that. I've got yelled at a first date once for that. I'll never forget it. Clearly it was the last date too, but I didn't even realize I was doing it. I was just excited and happy and in a good mood, and I was just talking about a situation at many different angles, and this person just thought I was crazy, and probably still does. Oh wow. I'm getting like, you're looking at this person and you're trying to figure out what's going on here. But you're also looking at it like things never seem to move forward. They got your attention, but you're looking at it like you can't seem to find a way to move things forward. And I feel like they're not understanding you just yet. I really feel like they're not understanding you just yet. Because I'm getting in the center, you got the Temperance with the Ten of Pentacles. However this person is in your life, however you're connecting with this person, it's taking a lot of time. I'm getting this person is favorable to you, but still doesn't know what to make of you. And I get also, while they don't, I do feel like they're looking at you like you're a little scattered. I don't feel like that's the truth, but it seems to be how they're relating to you. They also see a good person, though. That's the interesting thing. They think your thoughts are all over the place, but they also look at you like you're a very good person, and they like you as a person. They just don't understand your method of communication or thought process. Something about that. It seems, if this is hitting with you, like this person just seems a little bit bewildered by you. They like you, they see a good person, they just don't understand about how you live life and how you go forward with it. They just don't understand how you're able to successfully live. Like, they don't get it. Like, it just does not make sense to them. I feel like their way of living and your way of living there's a big contrast to that. Now, let's go to this first. You want things to move forward, but you're not seeing things move forward. The other person seems very apprehensive. I don't know if you were aware of it was the reason or not, but if this reading is hitting, maybe that's clicking in a little better why the person seems to be reacting to you a certain way. I'm getting you got the Three of Swords at the bottom because I feel like you're kind of heartbroken because you want this to go forward and you don't see a way to make it go forward. You're trying to find an avenue to try to get it to go forward, but you're not seeming to find it. Excuse me. And even if you found, avenues where you thought could have possibilities, I feel like you're trying these avenues, and they're ending up in dead ends. you're trying, you would like this to move forward, and it's not. Is my point. And that's where the Three of Swords is, because you're like, I feel like you're heartbroken. You're like, this could really be a good thing, and you can't seem to push it forward, and you're a little upset about it. Well, you got the heartbreak card here. You're kind of feeling heartbroken about it because you think this is a really good idea for the two of you to move forward together. This is temporary because I feel like you're winning this person over. This Hermit card, I feel like you're winning this person over because they do see a good person and they do have an attraction to you. Because the Fool card comes in. I feel like they do give in to you, and at the very least, they start dating you. I'm not 100% sure about, let's just say they're starting to date you here. And Judgment goes in your favor. Because it feels like they're going your direction. You've made it clear one way or another that you would like to start dating or seeking each other. And I feel like they've thought about it, and I feel like they're looking at it like, you know what, let me just... They're drawn to you. They're like, you know what? I could give this a shot. Let's just see how we work out. Let's just see how we get along. Let me just give it a chance. I feel like that's where they are. And Judgment goes in your favor. Judgment stays in your favor too, because I'm getting as it goes forward, I'm getting the two of you are getting closer and you're very happy with each other, but I feel like there's still that, like this Five of Swords is between you and them. And maybe more them. Because I feel like they're still not understanding you. I just feel like they don't understand it. They don't get it. See, that's the thing. If they can get to a point where they're comfortable of how you live life and they have at least enough trust to where you can keep up with what you got to do, I feel like things will be okay in that sense. I'm getting... Because it feels like you're coming together and the passion is very much there. I just feel like they need to understand you more. If they can get to a spot where they understand that, you know, you have your life under control and you can do what you need to do, they may not have a clue on how you're actually doing it. Because it feels like to them it's like an enigma. Like they don't understand how you succeed in life. It just does not make sense to them. It just doesn't. But if they can trust that you have your life under control and they don't have to, like, worry about you, or... I feel like I don't feel like this is fair. I don't feel like this is fair, and I don't really like saying this, but I guess I'm gonna. They almost have a concern like they're gonna have to clean up after you. I don't feel like that's right. But I feel like the way they're looking at your life, like, they're looking at it like it's just like a crazy jumble of sticks and boards, and this house is gonna crumble at any moment. And I don't feel like that's really fair. I just feel like they don't understand you. Once they can get more comfortable that you have your life under control and they don't have to look out for you in that sense, I feel like this can go a lot better. They really need to understand that more. They have to give that a chance. Because I don't feel like they have a proper view of you. I really don't. They seem to think your life is all over the place. And they're thinking it's just a calamity waiting to happen. I don't feel like that's true. It's just they don't. It's almost like a completely different language. It's like someone speaking Chinese and someone speaking Southern American. If that makes sense, like those two languages, like are so different. And like even if you write out, if each of them wrote out a message like that, it's so different. Like I feel like that's how different this is, like how the two are relating to each other. There's nothing wrong. Neither person is wrong for the way they live life. It's just like it's so foreign to the other that, like especially the one who has their life established a certain way, they look so foreign. They're like, I don't know how you live. That, like what you wrote on there, I don't even know. What are you doing? Like, what is that? Like, what are you doing? Like, scribbles. That's not even legible. And you're like, that's perfectly legible. That's how you do it. Like, I feel like neither is wrong, but neither seem to, like, I don't know if you understand how they think. It might be easier for you to understand how they think, but when they look at you, they don't, it's like complete, no idea. No idea. Don't get it. Don't get it at all. If that can be worked out where they have at least the trust, where you have your own life under control and you're going to be fine, they don't have to clean up after you, which I don't think that's fair. It really annoys me that I'm even saying it. Once they get to that point and they realize that, I feel like it'll be fine. But they might have to have reminders that you have your life under control. They're not going to get it. They're just not going to get it. I feel like they're not going to get it ever. They just have to have trust that you have your own life under control and it's fine. And I feel like it'll be okay. Once they have that under control, that you have your own life under control, they're still not going to get it. But I feel like they can work around your life and work with you a lot better. It's almost like if you end up in a relationship, things that are your responsibility, I feel like they'll be like, all right, then I'll let you do what you got to do, as long as things are done by a certain time. I don't care. I feel like they're going to have that type of attitude, just to give you a heads up. For example, like, if you have to pay these 3 bills and they're going to pay these 3 bills, as long as your bills are paid on time, that's fine. All good. Like, how you do it and when you do it is your own business. But if things start falling through or getting late, then they're going to have a fit and a half. But that's the type of energy you're getting involved with here, just so you know. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there because I feel like that's going way too far out. That depends if it actually cements in. So we're going to let that go. Thank you for watching. I hope that helped. If you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.